G'day and welcome to Salem's Travels. Today we're going to do a quick review on the exhaust jack. Now this one's a Bullet brand. I got it off eBay. I think it was $120. I suspect they're all pretty much the same. This one came with the jack itself, the hose, a couple of mats used with the jack, and a carry bag and a little extension for the hose. Now most people, when they go four-wheel driving, they carry a high lift jack, which is a great little device, but for all the things it does good, it does bad. They're not very stable at height, they're not very good with rocky uneven ground, and they're next to useless on soft mud or sand. Usually a high lift jack will prefer to bury itself in the ground than raise a vehicle. So this is where these come in. They're a pretty simple device. It's just a big bag that gets filled up from your exhaust. Some of them, this one has a funnel type thing that fits over the outside of your exhaust. Others have a plug that goes on the inside of your exhaust, but they all work the same. They fill up the bag from exhaust. Now obviously if your motor's not running, that's not going to work, and also if you've got an exhaust leak, then that won't work, because as soon as you start to get pressure in here, you're going to lose all your exhaust through your leak. To deflate the bag, you simply unhook the hose. It's got a little one-way valve here to keep the bag full of air. So let's just deflate this. So after the exhaust jack failed to lift our Ford Explorer, we just wanted to try it on a different vehicle, or a couple of different vehicles, to see if it was a problem relating to the Ford Explorer or not. So we've put the jack under our old Toyota here, and we're connecting it up to a diesel ute, just a 4-cylinder diesel, so just a small diesel, and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so by using a little 4-cylinder diesel motor, we've been able to jack the front of our Toyota up with the exhaust jack. So it seems to be that it needs the extra pressure that a diesel motor gives from the extra compression. So that's certainly something to keep in mind if you're looking at buying one of these. The diesel we use is just a little 4-cylinder diesel, so I assume any diesel will work. But before we sign off, we might just give it one last go with a older petrol motor to see if it really is a diesel petrol thing or if it's just the Explorer didn't want to play with it. Okay, so we tried inflating the bag using the motor from the Toyota, which is a 6-cylinder petrol motor, and it didn't even take the weight off the spring, so it's obviously a diesel thing. So if you want one of these, just keep in mind it's likely not going to work with your petrol motor. One thing just to be aware of, which is a bit of a disadvantage, is they have a really big surface area, which is in part how they work. But when you go to place it underneath your vehicle, it is very difficult to avoid the exhaust system or any soft plastics that may be damaged as the bag inflates. But other than that, it seems pretty good. Another disadvantage is to get the most out of it, you really have to put it underneath your diffs, underneath your axles. When we put it under the front bumper of the Cruiser here, we only just had enough height to get it off the ground. So it really needs to go under the low point of your vehicle, underneath the diffs, so you can make use of the lifting ability. But to do that means getting down on the ground, which is fine if it's just sand, but if it's mud or clay, then you probably don't want to be crawling around on your vehicle trying to set up your jack. If you found the video helpful, then please give us a like, and if you want to see more from Salem's Travels, then please hit that subscribe button. Hooroo!